Hi, this is Эрик Aksl Suнд, me, Yerker. I sit in Skåne. We're separated by 60 kilometers. Here's Hokkan, sits in Stockholm.
Hi.
So, we heard that it's time for a new book to be released in Russia soon, and some of the Russian readers has asked us some questions.
Okay, here's a question from Atsenia C. Do you think it would be scary to live in the world you have created in your books, or is it part of reality?
Yeah, of course it would be scary, but I think it was precisely the frightening reality that made us start writing in the beginning.
Exactly. Yeah, we can, all the time reality is worse than fiction, we realized over the years.
And I think we wanted to comment the frightening reality throughout our characters and in their stories. We was very inspired by newspaper and what we saw in the news and so on.
Yes, yes. And each time we try to come up to something really scary, the next day we open the newspaper and
something worse had happened. Yeah.
So all the contents in our books are in some way has its base in the real world around us.
And here's another one from Marina. How are you affected by your common musical past and producer-musician relationship? Does it help or rather disturb, or in what way?
I mean, Yerker and I have done so much during long years.
Yeah, art and music.
Yeah. And in writing we are in some way each other's producer. I mean, Yerker writes something and I shorten it or make it longer or take it away or something like that.
Yeah, it's a same kind of cooperation, but a different way of saying it, if you understand what we mean. So, and also when it comes to music and writing, you see a lot of music in the style of writing, like text can be poetry and it can be written, and it's about finding melodies. We always practicing reading out loud to find the right rhythm and melody in our language.
Thank you. And here's from @Jeremushka 44. In glass bodies, music has become has an important role. Have you taken inspiration from modern musicians and in any special musical works?
Yeah, in glass bodies mainly the black metal scene in the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
Mainly in the Norwegian.
Yeah. And ended up with murder and
burning
horrible
churches.
stuff. So music can be, very strongly affects you physically, not only mentally. You get shivers on your arms, and you get upset, or you get you say you want to dance, or both joyful and can be both joyful and sad. We wanted to discover how if music affects you very strongly, what can happen. What is there any limit? Something like that. Yeah.
And here's another one from Elena Paradivia. Is there any thriller in modern literature that you find absolutely most exciting? And who else is your favorite writer in detective genre?
I like Truman Capote's In Cold Blood. I think it's more true crime.
Yeah, true crime genre.
And also American Psycho, Bret Easton Ellis.
Yeah. About the society falling apart.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Commercialism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some Swedish. We have Niklas
Oh, yeah.
Natterdal.
Yeah.
Medieval.
Presume he has been translated into Russia. If not, they have to. two books which are really good. Recommended always.
The pioneers in the detective genre, Maj Sjöwall, Per Wahlöö.
Yes, the king and queen of Swedish detective novels.
And here's from Polinartio. You work in pairs, which is without doubt an unusual experience. How do you write? Do you take turns, divide into topics or chapters, or do you work with the text in parallel and choose what is best?
Yeah, that's a question we have heard a lot. And in Sweden, it's not that unusual to write pairs,
exactly.
Especially in the crime genre.
How is it even possible to write alone?
I don't know.
You know, we are both each other's editors. The way we worked has shifted over the years. From the start, we were more strict, I think.
Yeah.
You know, one chapter, then we change chapters, and so on. But now it's more like depending on which subject or which character you write about. But it's a good way to work because at some point you get tired of your character, tired of the subject, and then it's time to change. The text become better again. Hard to explain, maybe, but.
Here's from Kate Belenko. If your novels were to become films, which ones would you like to see in the lead roles and as director?
Oh, it's a tricky one. There's so many. Then it depends on if should it be made in Sweden or made in Hollywood. A couple of names that pops up is Sofia Coppola, maybe.
Yeah, but you talked about some Paul Thomas Anderson.
Paul Thomas Anderson, yes. Make director of Magnolia, There Will Be Blood. When it comes to actresses or actors, there's also a tricky question because there's so many answers to the question.
I think you said Kate Winslet sometimes.
Yes, I saw this Mayor of Easttown on HBO, I think, and she was terrific, really good. One very underrated Hollywood actor called Chris Cooper. And then we have, of course, Helen Mirren. Well, the list can be long. Yeah.
Here's from Vera Katan. Would you like to try writing a book in a different genre? If so, in which?
Yeah, we talked about horror.
Yes, but we're too scared to write horror.
Fantasy.
Oh yes, yeah, not so serious. Then also the true crime genre.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would be very interesting, but we're not journalists, so I think it would be hard just to keep close to the truth.
Yeah.
When you write, you always want to, what do you say?
Use your fantasy.
Yeah, use your fantasy, create worlds that don't exist or nearly exist. So
here's from Sarah to us. Which book would you like to recommend to young people as a must-read book?
Secret History by Donny Tартт, I say.
But
Yeah.
I think reading is important. That doesn't read as much as possible.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
Lord of the Flies.
Yes.
And
But I like-
1984.
Yes.
George Orwell.
Yeah. But as Håkan said, better to read anything than nothing, we think.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as bad literature, I think. So read. It's our advice. Just read.
Thank you. That was the last question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hope to see you in Russia sometimes.